Well, I got everything done except these two, and I've got this one cut and I've got it set up there, and I've got the other two cut, measured and cut, marked numbers 1 and 2. So number 1 will be here, number 1, and number 2. And I decided not to put those up just yet because I'm still down here in the pit, and I'm pretty much done down here. But see, I'm gonna have to pick up all my my scraps, all my old stuff. Gotta haul that stuff out of here, lift it up out of here, cut some of this stuff because it's gonna go into the dumpster, so I have to cut it small enough to fit into the bag, to fit into the dumpster. And there's some more scrap over there. And look, this is all of the new scrap left. Can you believe that? I mean, granted, I did get some extra, and this is an old one here, but I did get extra 2x6s 8 foot long at the store, and I've got 4 extra ones. I'll have to take those back to the store, but I wasn't sure how much I needed, and I measured and figured out strategically, hey, how can I do it without having to cut another 8 footer? And I got it. And see, I decided, see, I ran that, instead of just a small little piece to there, I ran it from here over to here, screwed it in, pre-drilled it, screwed it. I could have nailed that, and then I put liquid nail behind this, some little round circles, and then I pre-drilled and put some screws into that. That's never going anywhere. That liquid nail, when it dries, it's not going to go anywhere. And I had to put this little block in, put liquid nail behind it, had to cut it at an angle, long point, short point, long point. And I had to fit it in there, put liquid nail behind it, pre-drilled it, put screws into that, and went into the OSB plywood, pre-drilled that, put screws in there so it wouldn't split. And I don't need to put a little hanger clip on here. I can hardly get in here. I mean, I could do it, but there's no need. This is all glued down in there. It's not going anywhere. But this one over here, see, I did the same thing. Here's your block. Instead of just going to the stucco, I ran it all the way over to here, and then I drilled right through the stucco, and I found out where the 2x6 was, straight up there. So I pre-drilled that and put some long screws in there. I put another screw in there, put liquid nail behind it, and then I had all that, and I decided to put a clip here so that this ledger here with these 3 screws on that side of the clip is helping to hold this. But you know, I don't think it's going anywhere. I could have left the clip off, but I put it on, and then I put this piece on same way, cut it. I even had a toenail. I even barely had enough room to tap that up because it wasn't flush at the top. I flushed this side up at the top. I got the hanger in there, and yeah, I barely had enough room to get that in there. Then I toenailed this up after I had all that, toenailed that up, and drilled some holes, put the screws in there, and I got liquid nail behind that. And see, here's the joist hangers, and I'll show you how to put those up. Don't worry, I'll show you. I've got a kind of a trick, I think, that makes it a lot easier. They used to make joist hangers different. Instead of the nail holes on the sides at an angle, there used to be holes drilled into it, like 3 of them, boom, boom, boom. And once you attached one, this thing would be out at an angle. This wouldn't be perfectly tight. And then I put a nail in at this top one, kind of at an angle, and drive it up, and that would pull this up, suck it up, push it up tight, Well, they don't have that kind anymore. It's just like this, and it's virtually impossible to do it if you don't do the little trick that I do. Most people, I bet you they haven't even figured that out, but I've got it. So it's all nice and tight. It's tight along the side, tight along this side, and this is tight. Every single joist hanger I put in, I did the same technique and got it up there nice and snug as a bug in a rug. Okay, this is not going anywhere. And you see the trick I did over there? I did the same thing over here. I think I showed you this one here. Okay, with that clip there, and I drilled a hole right through the stucco into the OSB. Got this attached, got that little clip in there, screwed that. And this block here, I could have stopped right to here, but I had it cut all the way, and I thought, oh shoot, I was supposed to only go to there. But I'm glad I went all the way, because that I've done all the other ones the same way, and that's gonna help this corner, because the plywood gets down here. This will give it one extra little bit where I can screw that on there, because this is going to be flat, and then it angles up from here up that way, up this way. Remember, because I want the water from here. This is sloping down at an angle right here, okay? Sloping down at the angle. And so when the plywood's flat here, from this point it's kind of go uphill a little bit, and this will give me one more board edge to screw the plywood down and kind of just bend it ever so slightly. I'll be able to do it. It'll be no problem. No problem at all. And I got this block in here, did the same thing, put liquid nail behind it, put 2 screws into here, and there's a flat 2x6 here, and those are actually going into the 2x6, and then I drilled it and put the screws in there. This thing's solid as a rock. I screwed this back in because I had forgotten it, and so see, I had to change my measurement. Remember, it was almost 58 7/8. Once I screwed this in, that sucked it over just a little bit, and it turned out to be 59, and this one's 59 1/8. But it might be a tight 59, which is I cut it on the line or something. And I mean, I'd rather have it too tight than not tight enough, because then I can always, if I feel like when I'm whacking it in, if it's too hard, I could take it back down and shave off just the tiniest sliver ever off the skill saw. And I'm good with that. I've got my square, and I just do it and lift. And I've done all the cuts with this battery operated Bosch Bosch, I always want to say Skill saw, but it's not from Skill. It's a Bosch, and it's a saw, but not a Skill saw. But anyways, these two are going to be ready to go, and I'll do that after I get all my stuff picked up, all the blocks out of here, all the wood out of here. See, now this is going to be underneath the house. This is now going to be underneath the house. Once I get this plywood up, or before I get the plywood up, I'm gonna have to undo these screws and pull this out, because this is going to be underneath the house. Once I put the plywood on here, this is going to be enclosed, right? So then to access this area over here, I can go in from underneath the house, around and back through here, and then just step over this. But as I clean up, it's important, anytime you're doing anything underneath your house, you got to pick up all the wood, because you don't want any food for termites or anything like that. So I'm going to have to sweep this up really good, get this cardboard out of here, and even when I pick everything up, I'm going to sift through it the best I can and pick up even the small little pieces of wood. And then I'll sweep up this in the dustpan that I have. All the little slivers, just very small little pieces. I'm going to pick up all of it. Yeah. I don't want any wood whatsoever that could possibly feed a termite. Okay? And so I'll do all that prior to showing you this. Okay? See this clip? I just put it in here. Now, did I have to run these screws all the way through the stucco into the OSB? No, I didn't do that. I've got these other ones here doing that, and I also have glue on the back side of that. I've got this being held up by this with 2 screws coming through the back of that into that, and then I'm going to put a block up here too. That is not going anywhere. I could jump on that all day long and it's never going to move. Okay, I just didn't want to puncture any more holes into this stucco. No need. Remember I told you I was going to put some clips on here? I was initially going to get a 7-inch long clip and put on both sides to mimic the other side, but the one on the bottom already has one. The one in the back, there's a double layer 2x8s here, and I've got it all supported. I mean, I got it supported here. I've got it supported by this going up. I just didn't want this to come out a little bit, so I screwed that in there, and I did the same thing, kind of like how I just showed you up here, except I took what did I do? I took an 1-inch long sheetrock screw so it wasn't wobbling, and I just drove it in there and it kind of ate away, and then I took that one out and put it like a 2-inch to make sure I broke it on the back side. Actually the 1-inch screw did it. I tried one screw and then that was running through there and spinning, so I took it out because I dulled the tip, and then I put in another 1-inch screw, broke the back of the stucco. I didn't even have to use a drill bit or anything after that, and then I ran a 2.5-inch long screw in there, and that went in through here and hit the OSB plywood on the back side and ran through. I did the same with that one. Okay, and then over here, these are long screws, and that goes into that flat 2x6 that I got going up in there. So not only goes to the OSB, it goes into the 2x6 and out to the back of the 2x6. So that is not going anywhere with these smaller clips instead of those big ones. Okay.